Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy DT3, man, and I'm back at you with another video, man. New media, notification gang, God Squad. That's what it is, man. Look, I've been really thinking over the past couple days because I've been seeing, a lot of the older athletes in all sports: football, basketball, baseball, of course, boxing. I've been hearing, they have their issues about the younger generation. And to a degree, you can say some of it is a little jealous. I get it. But at the same time, it's some truth to what they're saying. Think about it. Now let's talk. We're gonna talk all sports in this, okay? We're not gonna just speak on just boxing because this goes to all sports, okay? If you look at boxing, fighters ain't the same like it was in the yesteryear. Fighters fought. That's what they did. It wasn't about what network you was on. It wasn't about who your promoter is. If we want to get it on, we getting it on. All right. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, they fought prime. If those two fighters was in this era, we probably wouldn't have saw that fight. We probably wouldn't have. Or we would have saw the fight when one of them was literally a shell of themselves. So we wouldn't have never got to see that fight if it were to happen in today's day and age. We wouldn't have never saw that fight to the level that fight really was. So a lot of these fights that we're looking forward to seeing, we may see them, but we will not see them at its highest level, meaning this fighter was at his best, that fighter was at his best, so let's see who really the best. You're only going to see these guys who claim to be the best when one of them is showing signs that he is not the fighter that he once was, maybe 2 years ago, 5 years ago, so on and so forth. To me, that's a coward mindset, but to them, it's a business decision. It's a business move. I'm only going to fight if there is a higher probability of me being the victor. I'm not going to fight if it's a toss up, if it's a maybe. I might win, I might not win. I don't know. I don't want to take that risk. That's what they're doing now, right? So look at Tank Davis. Look at Jamal Charlo. They are not focused on being the best fighters. They're focused on being stars. Understand what I'm telling you? They're not focused on being the best fighters. They're focused on being stars. Okay? It's just what it is. It was something that Leonard Ellaby said about Tank Davis and Teofimo that really woke my game up. And shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV again, because he touched on this too as well. And basically, Leonard Ellaby was saying, yeah, they could have as many fights as they could have. They could fight as many tough opponents as they could fight and all that. That's good, fine and dandy for them. But Tank Davis will be the bigger star. So that lets me further know that, Leonard, you don't care about Tank Davis being the best fighter. You don't care about Tank Davis being the best fighter. Fuck no. Fight Loma? Fuck no. He don't have to fight Loma. You don't give a fuck about him fighting Loma. He's a bigger star than Loma. He has more star power than Loma. So, to be honest with you, we getting paid off Tank on the back end. Because think about it. If Tank not fighting, they get money off of Tank some way. Because if you are under the management of Al Heyman or Mayweather Promotions and you not fighting, if you ain't fighting, you ain't bringing in no money. And fighting once a year, that's not bringing in no money. Not for real. Versus guys that's fighting 2 and 3, 4, maybe even 5 times a year. Tank's only fighting 1 time a year for maybe a few million, like 2-3 million. Done. And that's another thing. I agree with Floyd Mayweather. These fighters are getting paid too much money to where they don't even have to fight the best dudes. Because back in the day, these older fighters, they had to fight those hard, tough, ugly, rugged fights to get those big paydays. So I can understand why somebody of the older generation would have a problem with what's going on with the younger generation. Understand this, and this is in all sports, not just boxing. It's in football, it's in basketball. You got dudes that really put blood, sweat, and tears, had to fight 4, 5. Hell, Roy Jones fought 6 times in 1 year just to get the fame and notoriety, bro. These fighters only got to fight 1 time a year. They get $1 million paydays. They got all these followers on social media. They get instant fame, instant gratification. They don't have to work really hard for it. They don't. So to somebody who's looking at how hard I had to work to get to that, and y'all just going about it like it's a thing to do, and you got Tank Davis acting a damn fool in public, of course they gonna feel some type of way. It's the same thing I feel with football. Football is soft. It's soft. And I'm talking American football, not soccer, to my UK followers. But American football has gotten soft to where I can't even make a certain type of contact with you without getting a unnecessary roughness penalty. If I hit you too hard over the middle, they might call unnecessary roughness. Versus 20 years ago, that was fair game. That was football. You know, now if the ball is so much 2 seconds out the quarterback's hand and you touch the quarterback, not hit him, not do nothing drastic, just you touch the quarterback, or you bump the quarterback and you put your hands up and he just so happens to fall, roughing the passer. Football is soft. But you look at the people that played football prior to that, concussions, physical, mental damage, all that. That was the game. And if you wasn't man enough to deal with that, this ain't the sport for you. Same thing with basketball. When Jordan was playing the Pistons in the 80s and early 90s, those games was brutal. But those games, those times is what made Jordan Jordan. That's what made Jordan go and win 6 championships. It's playing against those type of players that are rugged, tough, and will actually really good enough to bring out the best in you, out of you, excuse me. Period. But these boxers, they getting paid too much. That's why they doing all the dumb shit they doing, and that's why these dudes ain't hungry. It's hard to get up and fight when you sleeping in silk sheets. And also, we have to let go of the fact of the best fighting the best. That's not really going to happen in this day and age. Unless one of the fighters show that he is no longer able to be the fighter he was, hence maybe 2 to 5 years prior to that particular situation. So don't expect to see Lomachenko Tank Davis fight. Don't expect to see a Tank Davis Teofimo fight. Don't expect to see a Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight. Don't expect to see that. If it happens, great, cool, awesome, beautiful. But don't expect to see it. It's all talk. It's all clickbait. When you see Ryan Garcia talking his shit, saying he gonna knock out Tank Davis and how he gonna knock him out and all that bullshit, it's all talk. Bottom line, when y'all fighting. That's the bottom line. Leonard Ellaby, Tank Davis could be the bigger star, but he ain't the best fighter. And if you want to focus on Tank Davis being the best fighter, take him out of boxing and put the motherfucker in movies and commercials. Because I already know what you're doing. You using Tank to be this star. Not using Tank. You're using people like Leo Santa Cruz to boost Tank profile. Because Leo Santa Cruz is a name in boxing. So you're going to find names in lower weight classes that you know Tank is going to overpower to boost his star status. You don't care about Tank being the best fighter, Leonard. None of y'all do. Y'all just want Tank to be the star. Y'all just, as long as Tank is in the tabloids and they talking about him on Facebook, they talking about him beating up his baby mama, y'all all good with that. I didn't see Leonard come forth about Tank Davis putting his hands on his baby mama. I didn't see him come forth and try to, shine some light on it or try to lighten the blow. Didn't see it. Because that was publicity. That is what kept Tank in the limelight. Because he not fighting, so he got to keep himself relevant. Because as a boxer, if you really want to be technical, if a boxer ain't fighting, out of sight, out of mind. Not with Tank Davis. Do something stupid or just constantly be in certain events where the cameras will always be on you. Because we want you to be the star. I don't care if Devin Haney is a better fighter. I don't care if Lomachenko is a better fighter. I don't care if Teofimo is a better fighter. I don't care if Ryan Garcia is a better fighter. None of them are bigger stars than Tank Davis. And if that's all you guys care about is being stars, get the fuck out of boxing. Because we don't give a fuck about your star status. We care about you being the best fighter you could be. And if you're not in this to be the best fighter you could be, you're lying to the boxing public. And you need to be called out on it. Period. But these athletes have a right to feel how they feel about how the younger generation is basically getting slaps on the wrist and they getting away with a lot of shit that the older generation couldn't get away with. Because like I said, if it were the same way back then, Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns wouldn't have happened. Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler wouldn't have happened. Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran wouldn't happen. Wouldn't have happened. Because it's too much of a risk. You're risking Sugar Ray Leonard's star status. You're risking Tommy Hearns' knockout star status. You're putting too much of that at risk. That's why I respect those guys. Because it wasn't about winning or losing. It was about seeing what you're made of. Seeing who's going to bring the best out of you. Who's really finna test me so I can see what I'm really made of? Am I really cut out for this? A lot of these fighters nowadays, they not cut out for this. Jamal Charlo, you're not cut out for this. Tank Davis, you're not cut out for this. You're not. Because when it comes time for you to put in the work, when it comes time for you to cut the bullshit, when it comes time for you to be disciplined, you ain't that. This ain't for you. Don't get me wrong, Tank, you a hell of a talent. But hard work beats talent every time. And I promise you, it don't matter how talented you are, the person that's going to beat you is the person that's going to work harder than you. And right now, Ryan Garcia is putting in more work than you. He working harder than you right now. 2 years ago, I picked you to beat Ryan. Now, with your lack of discipline, your lack of respect for the sport of boxing, your bad eating habits, just terrible, just your discipline, period. Ryan gonna whoop your ass because you not disciplined. You won't last. Like, you got tired fighting a 38-year-old Gamboa with one leg. What you think game, sharp, young, hungry Ryan Garcia gonna do? But you're not gonna do that because Tank is a bully. Tank is a bully. Jamal Charlo is a bully. All them dudes are bullies. Because they will not fight nobody that will stand up to them. Anybody that will stand up to them, that will really stand up to them, they ain't finna fight. Because they cowards and they bullies. If you like the video, like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time I hit y'all with some hot shit. Follow me on Instagram at DT_boom. Follow me on Twitter at DBoyWSO, man. You already know who it is, man. It's your boy, DT3, New Media, Notification Gang, God Squad. That's what it is, man.